Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news tonight, it's time for the Santa Cop auction this weekend. We'll have a preview. Also, did you get any light snow today, and when will the winds be dying down?
The staffing has been incredibly hard.
Good luck if you are in need to find a child care center. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. Megan has the evening off. Good to have you with us. Like other businesses, daycares were hit very hard by the pandemic. A lack of staff has some with, get this, a year-long or more waiting list. Channel 8's Alexa Skaneski joins us live in the studio with the details. Alexa?
Yeah, that's right, Rod. They're calling it a child care crisis. Businesses across the country are struggling to hire employees, and that is exactly what we're seeing right here in Lincoln.
Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
Bubbles and Blocks Child Development Centers in Lincoln are struggling to hire employees. They say since the end of summer, they're having a hard time keeping up.
I'm in classrooms, open to close a lot of days. My wife, both my parents who are retired. My mom lives in Missouri. She drives up and stays a couple days with us sometimes whenever people need days off, and works as well. So kind of all hands on deck right now.
Corey says the staff is worn out and working extra hours to make sure every classroom is taken care of. They're down about 25% of their help than in other years. Bubbles and Blocks is actually mandated by the state. Based on how many kids they have to keep a certain amount of staff members, which makes the shortage even more tricky.
Unless we are aggressively looking for staff, we get no applications. So we have been handing out flyers on campuses here in town. We advertise on a couple different radio stations.
And a lack in staff has now created a wait for families. Bubbles and Blocks has a wait list at all 3 of their locations in Lincoln, but it's not necessarily because they're full.
We have openings at all 3 locations, but you know, you can't in good conscience sign up a new kid when your teachers are working 50 hours a week, they're getting burnt out, and that one more kid's gonna make them have to stay a couple extra hours each day. So if we could just hire, we could fill those spots and help families out.
If you get added to their 3-page waiting list right now, Bubbles and Blocks says they could get your child in daycare around August of 2022.
Because if no kids left and we hired no new people, that's when we lose a bunch of pre-K kids going off to kindergarten. So it does create an influx of openings. But you would want to be calling now trying to get that spot for 2022.
Federal grants were even given out recently that the center will be able to benefit from. They say it will help moving forward with hiring and advertising, but still will not solve all their problems. Unfortunately, this is affecting a lot of child care centers than just this one.
Some daycare centers, child care centers here in town, I've actually heard of shut down an entire classroom because they just didn't have the staff for it.
Now, starting this month, Bubbles and Blocks had to increase their rates a little bit because every current staff member got a raise. Now, if you're looking for a job, you can apply on their website. We have that on our info on our website, klkntv.com.
Yeah, and Alexa, quick question here. You mentioned Bubbles and Blocks. They're not alone. You've talked to a lot of other daycares. They're going through the same thing?
Yeah, that's right. Over the last month, I've talked to several child daycare centers around here, and everyone is in the same boat, a lack of staff, forcing them at times to limit how many kids they can have. Some have even told their customers they're closing for the rest of the month to focus on hiring and training.
All right, Alexa, thank you for looking into that for us. I know a lot of parents out there affected. Thank you. All right, some good news. For some of you, you could be getting some money on Monday. Also tonight, a closer look at the job sector. Here's the latest in tonight's Consumer News. Millions of U.S. families are about to receive their latest monthly child tax credit payment. The Treasury Department says the next round will be distributed on Monday. Eligible families can receive up to $3,600 for each child under the age of 6 and up to $3,000 for each child ages 6 through 17. But this could be the last payment if Congress doesn't act. The tax credit was created as part of the coronavirus relief package. It's only in effect for 2021. The budget reconciliation package that Democrats are currently negotiating would extend the credit through next year. A report finds the cost of birth complications in the U.S. in 2019 was $32 billion. That covers from birth to the first 5 years of their lives, and the estimate works out to be about $8,600 per mother and child. That figure puts this health problem on par with the expenses for some chronic diseases such as diabetes, and some say it's getting worse. An October study showed more people in the U.S. experienced pregnancy complications during the pandemic than in 2019. To the workforce now, people across the U.S. have been quitting their jobs in record numbers. Today, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that 4.4 million people quit their jobs in the month of September. That's a new all-time high. Some economic researchers say the arts, entertainment, and recreation sectors had the most resignations. That was followed by other service industries, state and local governments, and education. Also at play, nearly 10.5 million positions were reported open in the month of September. That means workers are more empowered to pick and choose jobs. Also, the number of newly created jobs slowed in August and September because of the Delta variant, but sped up again during the month of October. It is time once again for the Santa Cop auction here in Lincoln. It's this weekend, and Channel 8 very proud to once again be a sponsor.
This is our 31st annual Santa Cop auction. We collect donations from community members and then we auction them off, and then 100% of the proceeds go to buy gifts for kids in the Lincoln area that normally would not have a Christmas.
As you can see in that video, a lot of signed guitars by country stars and a lot of gift certificates. It's a great event that helps out a lot of local families. It's going to be this Sunday at the Center for People in Need there on 27th Street. There are going to be tables set up full of donated items for a silent auction, and then after that there's going to be a live auction. Police officers say they know the money raised goes very far in making the holidays a little brighter for many.
There are several times where I've gone into homes around the Christmas time and they don't have a tree, or if they do have the tree up, they don't have any gifts underneath it. And especially during like COVID and stuff like that, there's more families struggling.
All right, here are the details. Again, Santa Cop is this Sunday at the Center for People in Need on 27th Street between Cornhusker and Superior. Doors are going to open at 11 a.m. Silent auction starts at noon. Live auction at 2:30. I'm going to be out there once again this year. Hope to see you there on Sunday. The weather today definitely made it feel more like the holidays. Some areas getting some light snow today. This is a picture from the mother of our morning anchor, Katrina Spurl. This is up near Stanton in northeast Nebraska. The precip really never amounted too much across the state of Nebraska. The bigger story really for many today, the wind. My goodness, that made it feel very cold. Meteorologist Malcolm Byron is in for John. What were the gusts today, Malcolm?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a shock to the system. The highest gust I've seen so far at Lincoln Airport was 52 miles per hour, and I don't think we're going to beat that for the remainder of the evening as wind gusts will steadily start to decrease over the next several hours. But still gusty outside right now. Winds are out of the northwest, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. At least that's the latest report of a wind gust. 29 miles per hour in Beatrice. We're not reporting anything right now, but there are plenty of spots around Aurora still pretty gusty at this particular point in time. When you factor in that with the temperature right now, it feels darn gnarly outside. 21 is the feels like temperature. Hasn't felt this cold in quite some time, so definitely wear the heavy coats if you're heading out and about tonight. You'll definitely want to wear your winter layers as well, and it's only going to get colder as we head into the overnight hours. But the other story was all the cloud cover we had. Here's a live look over our Shones roofing camera in Beatrice. Still seeing some low-level clouds in the sky, but starting to see some breaks as we are on the western edge of our storm system. This brought a couple of flurries to southeast Nebraska, even a little bit of a dusting of snow in the northeast corner of the state. I don't think we'll see any of those this evening as well, as eventually we'll start to see some clearing as the system starts to exit, but still cold. 33 by 6 o'clock, 31 by 8 o'clock, into the 20s by 10 o'clock, and some of us may even drop down to the teens for overnight lows tonight. The cold is not going to last for long, however. How warm we get, we'll have more details on that in just a couple minutes. I think you will like it.
Okay, I like that. Thank you very much, Malcolm. Turning now to Britney Spears and that high-stakes hearing today. A judge deciding whether to terminate the guardianship that has controlled the superstar's life and money for nearly 14 years now. Here's more from ABC's Morgan Norwood. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for sticking with us. A Hollywood actress is sharing her weight loss journey and eating struggles. Here's more information coming up from ABC's Zoreen Shaw.
I should have taken that cardio tip more seriously.
This morning, Pitch Perfect actress Rebel Wilson with a dramatic weight loss story, speaking to People magazine about overcoming emotional eating, with the pictures of her dramatic 80-pound loss to prove it, saying, "I can lose a few pounds if I try really hard one week and be really strict with myself, but then I'll always gain it back, so I never thought I could successfully do it." Wilson admitting on social media that emotional eating has been a struggle.
On the emotional side, again, everybody's different, and some people might have triggers in their lives or people in their lives or things that have triggered them to overeat. And I know I would wear my weight as a bit of a barrier, maybe so that people wouldn't get close to me.
Experts say it's important to not use food as a coping mechanism.
Emotional eating is when a person turns to food, usually as a way to regulate themselves or soothe themselves, usually negative emotions like anxiety, sadness, frustration, loneliness, and the food sort of acts to numb the person at those times.
Earlier in her journey, the star telling her more than 10 million Instagram followers that she's overcome emotional eating by first realizing she was doing it. From there, she made changes to her 3,000-calorie daily diet that was often high carbs to high protein and added in high-intensity workouts. Dr. Ramani says to focus on your feelings and even your routine to avoid emotional eating.
So a lot of people are able to keep it clean until about 2, 3 in the afternoon. There's something about 3, 4 o'clock and later that really kind of throws people off the path. Take a minute to figure out if you're really hungry, because we'll see that emotional eating often happens at off meal time.
The Pitch Perfect star says, "I am not perfect. I still emotionally eat at times. I've learned to manage things." Now, another thing she's trying to manage, her dating life. She tells people, "I am currently single and looking for the right person." So we'll see. The magazine hit stands today. Zoreen Shaw, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Well, if you were outside at any point today, the wind just slapped you in the face. And I really like the Allo Communications camera shot because you see this flag whipping in the wind on the right-hand portion of your screen. Wind gusts are still in excess of 30 miles per hour across many locations in southeast Nebraska, although they will start to die off over the next several hours. But boy, it is cold outside, 34 degrees at current temperature right now. And as we saw in first forecast, this is making it feel, or the wind rather, is making it feel like it is in the low 20s right now, or even upper teens in some locations. And actual air temperatures tomorrow morning may be in the upper teens, so this is quite a cold pattern we're in right now. Now, we had lots of cloud cover today. Looking at satellite imagery, you can see we're on the western edge of this system. It's slowly wobbling off towards the east, but we're starting to see a couple of breaks in the clouds in some locations. We'll be mostly clear in the overnight hours as a result. Now, we do have a wind advisory in effect until 6 o'clock tonight, and keep in mind, this is very soon. The reason I'm showing you this is because this is expiring soon. That implies that the wind speeds will diminish as we head in towards the overnight hours. We can see that here along this particular model run here. You see wind gusts probably in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range over the next several hours, but in the overnight hours they drop off considerably. We'll have sustained winds probably around 5 miles per hour in the overnight hours, and gusts likely not exceeding 10 miles per hour tomorrow morning. That's good news because actual air temperatures will be in the upper teens to low 20s. We're forecasting a low temperature of 19 degrees in Lincoln, so that is cold. You'll want the heavy coats tomorrow morning. At least we will not have a strong wind to go along with it. That would feel quite gnarly tomorrow morning. Now, as we go in towards tomorrow afternoon, we'll keep mostly clear skies. Some high clouds in the forecast. It'll be warmer as a result, but by the time we get to the late afternoon hours, we're going to be watching some more clouds approaching from the west and northwest, perhaps even some showers starting to move into southeast Nebraska. Now, you see this on Stormcast. This is a lot of green, and you might think, oh, we got a good chance of seeing some rain tomorrow. This is going to be very light stuff, more likely sprinkles, just light showers, and they're going to be on an isolated basis, so you're not going to get a good soaking of rain out of this. Just keep in mind you may come across one of these. We'll keep it in the forecast as we go in towards late Saturday, even in towards early Sunday morning. early Sunday morning. By the time most of us are waking up, a lot of that activity will probably be out of here. And if you're wondering if we're going to see any sort of wintry precipitation along with this, no, I don't think we'll see any wintry precipitation Saturday night. So for tomorrow, 52 degrees, considerably warmer. Winds will return out of the south. If you're watching in the Tri-Cities, you'll be even warmer than that, likely approaching the upper 50s to low 60s as we head west towards the Tri-Cities. But as we go in towards Sunday, we're forecasting highs in the lower 50s. So this weekend, it's going to be warmer, right around normal for this time of year. But boy, we are really going to warm up going into the beginning of next week. We got a high of 63 on Monday, and we're going to be even warmer than that as we head in towards Tuesday. We'll see that on the 10-day forecast, 68 on Tuesday. Now, I'm questioning how much cloud cover we'll see at this point, so we're keeping it in the upper 60s for now, but some computer model guidance, the ones that show less clouds, are showing temperatures near 70 degrees on Tuesday. A front will pass Tuesday. So, it looks like it's going to be a dry front for now, but that should cool things off for Wednesday. 50 degrees, should be breezy then. And then low temperatures are turning in the 20s to close out the week. High temperatures in the upper 40s. Perhaps another weak disturbance arriving in towards Friday. Right now, that one looks dry as well. So if we have any chance for rain next week, it's probably going to be sometime Tuesday or Friday. But right now, the chance looks so low, not really worth mentioning. Looking dry as we head in towards next weekend.
Well, you and John have been warning us about what was going to be coming today with the wind chill and light flakes of snow here and there. So you guys hit it pretty much right on. But like you said, it's still a slap in the face.
Absolutely. That's what we like to hear.
I'll tell you what, Malcolm, you think it's cold here. ABC News is visiting all 7 continents this month, looking at climate change as a special thing they're doing. Well, tonight, a harrowing 24 hours on Antarctica. Here's ABC's Amy Roback.
Antarctica is known for being the coldest, windiest place on Earth, and it's living up to its reputation. Our expedition team enduring bone-chilling temperatures, rough seas, and hurricane-force wind speeds with gusts of up to 90 miles per hour.
Well, you know, I've covered a lot of hurricanes, so I think it's fairly safe to say these are hurricane-force gusts. Antarctic weather is living up to its reputation.
Shortly after we got off the air Thursday, the captain shut down the outer decks for everyone's safety, rerouting on the fly. Charting a new course south, sailing toward Peterman Island overnight, hoping to outrun the storm. But along the way, the sun came out, and so did some of Antarctica's most famous residents at Bailey Head on Deception Island.
As you can see, we are still dealing with tropical storm force winds here just battering us, so we weren't able to get onto those zodiacs to the last island we were at. So this is our plan B, and it's pretty spectacular. Deception Island here behind me, and those little black dots, those are penguins.
Finally, our ABC News crew was able to disembark the Endurance for the first time since boarding for a broadcast tech test.
It's 10 p.m. here tonight, and we are in Mickelson Harbor with an absolutely magnificent, majestic iceberg behind us. We're here in the Zodiac testing our equipment so we can bring all the wonders of Antarctica to you.
And we'll, of course, keep you updated on the ABC's expeditions with this all month long. Here's a look at Wall Street today. The week ended on a positive note. The Dow up 179, NASDAQ gaining 157. Here are your numbers. Finally tonight, a tense police chase ends inside a school, and America's most famous holiday tree is chosen. Here's tonight's Take a Look at This.
A tense police incident unfolded outside an Ohio high school, then it continued inside the school. After a vehicle and foot chase of a man who allegedly tried to break into a home, officers cornered the suspect outside a Toledo high school.
Turn and face the building.
The man refused to heed the officer's commands, continuing to advance on him, and that's when the chase continued into the school building.
Going in the building!
The pursuit didn't last long as the suspect was tackled by a team of contractors working in the hallway. Officers then took the man into custody. Thankfully, all students and staff remained safe, and the school day continued. A massive art installation honoring members of the military and their families will continue to pay tribute to their service well past Veterans Day. The creator of the Virginia Beach exhibit, called Faces of Courage, says he wanted to honor military sacrifice using a range of emotions.
Does it make you smile? Does it make you think? Does it make you aware? Hopefully it makes us a more compassionate community.
He plans to leave the 190-foot installation up for at least 6 months. Finally, here's a sneak preview of a national holiday tradition. The iconic Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has been chosen, and this year, it's coming from Maryland. The 79-foot, 12-ton Norway spruce was donated by a family in Elkton, and after it makes the 140-mile round trip to the Big Apple, it will be wrapped with 50,000 multicolored lights and crowned with a crystal star. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And once again, today's weather made us kind of think a little bit more about the winter season, right, Malcolm?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like winter right now. We're looking at wind chill values at this moment in the low 20s in Lincoln, even though actual air temperatures are in the middle 30s. And as we head over the next several hours, we'll actually start to see more breaks in the clouds. It'll be mostly clear by 10 o'clock, temperatures dropping into the 20s, some of us in the teens tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you, Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining us. World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Stop by Comfort Made Mattress Factory today and save up to $500 with our bigger bed, smaller price sales event. Locally owned Comfort Made Mattress Factory, 27th and Superior.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics. On the next Second Sunday, understanding and managing diabetes can seem overwhelming. See how one program helps its patients take control of their diabetes on the next Second Sunday, sponsored by Bryan Health.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Colonial Chapel Funeral Home.
Since the beginning, affordability has been a top priority.
Every day we are proving that funerals and cremations don't have to be expensive.
Colonial Chapel Funeral Home, committed to excellence and compassion.
Celebrating America.